Hi, this is John Fontana with Piing Identity Corporation. We're here at the All About the Cloud conference talking to Ken Wasch, who's the president of the Software Industry Information Association. And so tell us a little bit about the organization and how the cloud is impacting what you guys are doing.
SiiA essentially does three things. We promote the industry, we protect the industry, and we inform the promoting the industry. We're outwardly facing and we're trying to describe to non-software companies what it is the software industry offers and how the industry is transforming. Secondly, protecting the industry. I mean, there are threats to our industry, to the growth of our companies, from Congress that it would unduly regulate us or other threats. And informing the industry, we provide a network so that companies can learn from each other, and we encourage many companies, large and small, new and old, all to interact in an effort to try to propel the industry forward, to take advantage of some of these great new capabilities that are provided by cloud computing. SiiA is an organization of 500 member companies, but we're divided into 4 different divisions. The software division has almost all of its companies that are involved in the transformation from on-premise to on-demand, or our new companies that are cloud native, cloud or SaaS native companies, and we're getting a lot more of those companies participating all the time. What's exciting about what's happening with the cloud today is that we're at one of those delicious inflection points where the whole industry is changing. There were a couple in the past where when Windows came out in 1986, it changed the whole industry. A whole bunch of new players came into the market. Similarly, when Netscape was formed and the internet provided a whole range of new opportunities and new companies that could come into play. We're at the same kind of inflection point now. And that inflection point really occurs in 2 areas. One is as companies are making the transition from on-premise to on-demand. So we have an enormous change happening with existing software companies. We also have hundreds of new software companies, web-native software companies that have cloud offerings. And it's very exciting. It's exciting from the venture capital perspective as well, because many of these companies are getting funded. But also what's happening is, at the same time, is suddenly there's a mobility play. And so you have, everyone and his brother is starting a new software company to develop, iPhone or Google apps. And that's very exciting as well. So every software developer now has to think about, well, one is how do you make the transition? What are some of the issues that we have to address in order to make that transition? Those issues include things like security, Piing Identity is involved in addition to questions like reliability, revenue protection from legacy systems, and then the channel is changing so tremendously. The process of selling applications through third parties is very different when you're selling on-premise as opposed to on.
And you mentioned mobility earlier, and that's a big area of focus for you now. What's happening there?
Just like every software company is making the transition from on-premise to on-demand, every software company is also cognizant of the fact that their users are accessing the applications not on a desktop or on a laptop, but on an iPhone or on a BlackBerry. Mm-hmm. And so there are similar issues involving security, access to data on a small form factor, access by users on multiple devices, so a range of different activities.
Now you guys introduced, or you talked about your next gen program here, and you introduced 6 new companies. What's the incubation there? What are you doing with that program for the SaaS members?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. We're always on the lookout for hot new SaaS companies. The 30 or 40 venture capital firms in this country are all also focused on SaaS and mobility companies, and we do our own analysis to see what companies are companies that can, one, add a lot to SiiA as an organization, because the interaction with other companies would be useful not only for them but for us.
All right. Well, I know you're busy at this conference. A lot of people here, a lot of things going on, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.